Hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us from the world today. Welcome to the Talent Show, where you will meet the people that power TTEC. I'm Rebecca, and I will be your host for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us again if you're returning to the Talent Show, and welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. We hope you'll find today's episode inspiring and help you live a healthier life, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. But first things first, let's talk about what today's episode is all about. I don't know about you, but I can't believe it's November already, and November signals almost the end of 2023 and the start of 2024. So as we enter this season of giving, we really wanted to take today's show an opportunity to reflect on the power and the importance of giving back in our communities. We think that this is the perfect time to share more about how you can get started, either for the next couple of months as we're in this season of giving, or as you plan and strategize for a healthier, better you in 2024. But before we get to all of that, let's meet you. Please drop in the chat where you're joining us from today. Tell us a little bit about you. And one of the things I was just thinking about was, what kind of songs get you excited and inspired and ready for your day? I was just listening to Sia's Unstoppable, and it kind of got me thinking about the power of music too. So we want to hear from you. But before we jump into today's show and meet our guest, I just wanted to lay the foundation for why it's important to give. And I'm just going to look at my notes here real quick, because there was a World's Values survey that surveyed people in 150 countries about their satisfaction in life. 6 factors counted towards 3/4 of the importance of happiness and well-being. And one of those is generosity. It's how you live a generous life, as well as the people that you surround yourself that also live generously. Did you know that people who are generous also live a happier, healthier, longer life? Longer life, everyone. I didn't know that. And that gives them a greater sense of purpose as well. And we also, according to a recent article in Forbes, giving, as we put our employer hat on, giving helps a team come up with more camaraderie, team morale, and I love this part, respect. I think that was something that was a little surprising to me too. So these are just a few of the reasons that it's important to give back and have that as a pillar as you move into 2024 as a part of your life. But if you need some more inspiration, don't worry, we've got it. Today's guest, David Bernal, is going to be joining us from the Philippines. David is our regional director of APAC. He has been with TTEC for 16 years, and he wears a very important hat, which is that of our TTEC Foundation ambassador for the Philippines. So let's welcome on today's guest, David Bernal.
Hey, Rebecca. Always a pleasure sharing the screen with you. Thank you so much for having me.
David, I love it. Thank you so much, everyone. It's very late in the Philippines right now, so we appreciate, it's kind of like the late show with David Bernal right now. We appreciate you joining us, and I personally am always inspired by our interactions with each other, David, whether it is celebrating the recent HR Asia awards for the Philippines, or it's coming together in more serious moments of how we can give back and support team members in the Philippines as well. So I'm honored that you're joining us here today. I know that we have a big mission here, which is to inspire people to give back, and I think you're just the perfect person for it. So thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. And you are correct. It's a big mission, and I'm happy to be here to talk about all of the great things that we do for TTEC Foundation.
But first, David, I told a little bit about, well, you've been here for 16 years. You're a big part of our Philippines family at TTEC. Oh, hey, I would show it again. Let's see that. That's a badge that we should all be checking out for sure. And we have the TTEC shirt. Nice way to support the brand. We love it. But before we get started, could you tell us a little bit more about you and your role and your journey here at TTEC?
All right, sure. So I started in TTEC back in 2006. So you're correct. More than 16 years of my life. That's more than a third, actually, of my life. I started as a team leader in one of our healthcare programs in Lipa, and then grew from there. I've been given a lot of opportunity for growth, and TTEC has invested a lot of development training in me. And right now, I'm the regional leader, the executive director of our site operations in Asia Pacific. I look after our sites and our people and all of our relationships with different partners external. I also look after our administration support as well as the engagement activities and provide support to our employees and make sure that, if there are concerns about the site, if there are things they want to see in terms of what we do for fun, what we do for recognition, those are the things that fall under me. So pretty exciting job. And I look forward to the rest of what our discussion is going to be.
We were joking just before this. David, do you sleep? And after you just shared all of those things, I do wonder, like you said, for the weekends, right?
Weekends, yes.
So recently I saw a post and I just loved it. It was about a recent day that the TTEC Philippines team shared in their efforts to give back to students across the Philippines. I loved it. I think it was amazing. And I'm hoping you're going to share a little bit more about it with us, along with the importance to those volunteers and what that day meant, not just from the impact that you had on the students, but the impact that we had a part along with the team. And just for everybody in the audience, like take out your notes. Again, if you needed that extra nudge, that extra inspiration, I think David's about to drop some great wisdom on us and some great inspiration with us. So yeah, so David, tell us a little bit about that amazing day.
Absolutely. So a few months ago, it was July 11th. We chose that day because it's towards the end of the school year here in the Philippines. And we have a lot of submissions for grants for TTEC Foundation. We thought of why not do a simultaneous event. So during that day, we went to not just one, not just two, not just three, but 12 schools simultaneously at 11 a.m. We've got 12 volunteer groups from different sites in TTEC Philippines. Made that journey into the schools, and some of these schools are in very remote locations. Schools that can only be reached by foot. And we made it a very special day because we had hundreds of volunteers across the Philippines who went to these schools. We spent some time with the teachers, with the students, and really asked what they need. If there's anything that we can be of service, we sat with the students. We taught them, how to read, how to write. We played some instruments, music instruments, with some of the students, and of course, we sat with the faculty and to understand what other assistance TTEC can provide, because we want to be able to establish our presence in the community as a company that regularly gives back. That day alone, we were able to help as many as 5,000 students across 12 schools, and donations amounting to 2 million pesos. The team had an amazing day. What we always tell the group is that, within the walls of TTEC, we learn a lot of things, and that's food for the brain. But outside, what we do for the community is food for the soul. And that's one of the things that really cannot be measured in terms of, monetary value. It's what we do for the community, how we give back, that really resonates within our personalities, within our spiritual beings. And having heard some of the testimonies from the employees, from our colleagues, of how that they went for them, it was very special. We have a few employees who went to schools, to their alma mater, to where they graduated from in high school and in elementary, and it was very nostalgic for them because they get to go to the classroom and get to see the chairs where they used to sit, and really reminisce all of the things, the great things that happened during their elementary and high school days. And I think that's one of the stories really that were highlighted as far as the experience is concerned for most of the employees.
There's so many great things in what you just shared. I love the giving back is really food for the soul, and especially in the craziness of the world that we have, and people's focus on well-being, to really nourish your soul is so important. So I love that, and that opportunity to go back to your alma mater and sit maybe in those tiny desks that are you're
Yes.
now maybe a little too big for, and support the teachers. And wow, 5,000 students. That's really amazing. Congratulations to the whole TTEC team that participated in that day, and the foundation for the impact that they have. I just want to go over to the audience for a second and just give a shout out. Hello, Robert from Virginia. David Malcolm, hello, joining us from Scotland, UK. Nice to see you. We also have another user tuning in from the Philippines, and Elizabeth's watching from Tampa, Florida. Yeah, you got them from all over the world here today, David. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining and being a part of our conversation today. Also, Stan shared that he loves listening to Hair Nation. So thank you for giving us your inspiration for music and what your jam is as well. So David, just back to, the importance of giving back and to these students. I am so excited through the TTEC Foundation. I just recently submitted a grant that will also be giving back to students, books in the classroom. And through that process, I was so excited to learn and really surprised to learn that the presence of books in the house are one of the most important signs of success beyond really anything else. So I love that. I've connected with that. But as the rest of us think today about what inspires us, what drives us, maybe what causes could we give back to? Could you tell us a little bit more about what's your why? Why are you inspired by this, and how has it been a pillar of who you are and what you do?
Rebecca, I think I'll start with how thankful I am with the opportunities that TTEC has provided to me. When I started here, back, 16 years ago, my only goal is to be able to buy a mobile phone. But right now, because of the opportunities that were given to me, I have a lot in me. I've gained some knowledge. A lot of knowledge and gained a lot of friends. And I wanted to be able to give back when I was studying, so from elementary all the way to college, because of some financial hardships in the family, I had to go to public schools. And here in the Philippines, we really don't have um, the most updated or high tech facilities if you're studying in public school. I think what I want to share is that I am left handed. So I text with my left hand, I brush my teeth with my left hand, I hold things with my left hand, but I write with my right hand. And the reason is when I was in elementary, learning how to write, the school did not have enough, armchairs for left-handed kids like me, and because it was very uncomfortable to get your arm to the other side of your body. I was getting behind in class already, so I needed to adjust, and I needed to relearn how to write with my right hand then. And I always go back to the story because it has awakened something in me to be an instrument to make sure that these inconveniences and these things are eliminated or reduced. And having that experience, I would like to take part in making sure that these are eliminated. So it's one of the things that I'm really proud of, that I have been given the opportunity by TTEC to lead TTEC Foundation here in APAC. So I get to have that the voice and the influence to make sure that we reach out to the schools that really need help, and going back to that left-handed kid in me, and making sure that this kid also is given the enough support, the gadgets, the technology that's needed to be able to thrive in this very modern environment now.
Well, David, from one left-handed person to another, I wholeheartedly agree with you that, the opportunity, I love how you said awakened within you of how you can pay it forward and help support students of all kinds, whatever they may be facing in the classroom. And that's our future workforce, right, as
Yeah.
well. So it just empowers for all of us to empower our students is going to help make for a better society. And I think to this day, I'm not very good at cutting because I had to use the right-handed scissors, David. So I totally understand that. We want to kick it over to our audience for a minute. And hey, Josh from Arizona, that's where I happen to be as well today. So it's a gorgeous day outside and really blessed to be in Arizona right now. But we wanted to ask you in the audience, what inspires you to give back? This is a great opportunity to make a wonderful chain of comments and help inspire other people, maybe tag people who have inspired you. But we'd really like to learn about what inspires you to give back as we go to the next part of the conversation with David. I do love a quote that is often attributed to Winston Churchill, and it says, "We may make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." And I think, David, that resonates back to what you were saying about how giving is food for and nourishment for our soul as well. So as we go to this next question, there are so many ways that we can give back that you just shared. It's grants, it's money, it's our time, it's resources. Tell us about a time that maybe is one of your favorite give back moments.
During the July 11th Grand Donation activity, one of the schools we went to is in a very remote location in the mountains that doesn't have access to clean water. Um, what we built for the school is a deep well water system that would make it easy for the students, for the faculty, for the teachers, and the parents to get clean water that's safe for drinking, that's potable. Because previously, the faculty had to walk 2 hours in order to get water from down the mountains, and now that we are able to give that to them, it has been a very rewarding experience. A lot of us, did not have any experience, drilling from the ground and all, but because we had so established some partnerships with the parents, with some of the skilled workers within that mountains, we were able to accomplish what we were set to do successfully. Another one I would like to share, and this happened just this morning. We did a coastal cleanup. So also in a coastal community, we went there, and there were, I think, 50 of us that's volunteered to pick up trash, because this community, the coastal communities, the way the geography is set up is whenever there's like huge typhoon, and we get that a lot in the Philippines, most of the trash are going to that community. So we picked up the trash, plastic bottles, other containers, and we are able to collect 280 kilos of trash that we are able to donate to a nearby recycling center. And these trash is going to be, recycled and converted into, um, chalkboards and um, armchairs and school desks. So those are the two big highlights of giving back for me for the year.
I love it, David. I think you're just giving us a challenge to get some sweat equity into this. Start building
Yes.
some things, start cleaning up some rivers or some outdoor, wherever we are in the world. And that opportunity for team building, I think, is priceless. And what that helps with the employee experience is great too. Just want to go over to the audience for a quick second. Kyle says, recognizing that not all home environments are fulfilling the needs of our community members, I like to give back to spread love and smiles. Thank you, Kyle. I think that is a wonderful mission that if we all got on board, we'd be in a better place as well. Sarah sends us a lot of hearts. Hey, Sarah, thanks so much for joining us. Always love to see you. And Victoria, joining us from Las Vegas, Nevada, says, David, keep up the great work. David, what you're doing through TTEC is amazing. So, and I'm sure you would
Thank
say
you.
that extends out to the rest of the team in the Philippines as well. So I think another thing that is important that, like you were just saying about the different storms that affect the Philippines, is that we also need to take care of our own community within the TTEC family as well. And as I mentioned, at the top of the show, that you and I have worked together on ways that you've been communicating out during those times of storms. So I know this is really near and dear to your heart to support TTEC family members in those trying times. Could you tell us about how times when the team has come together? One of our values is act as one, to really support the TTEC family during their times of need.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. And I'm happy to share about a really nice story that we recently had. So last August, one of our sites, the Pampanga site, was hammered by a very strong typhoon, back to back. The names of the typhoon are Egay and Falcon. After Egay, more than half of the town is subsided in water, knee and even waist level flood, and our absenteeism was through the roof, like pushing 75%, 80%. So we had to like really look for our employees who are not accounted for, because there's power outage, so they're not able to charge their cell phones for several hours. um, we worked as a community, for those that are in the site who are able to make it safely to the site. We built a team that would find a way to reach out to these employees, maybe through using their own cars, and then we borrowed vans from different sites so that we could drive these vans to the registered addresses of the employees. We also reached out to employees from other sites to donate certain groceries, foods, blankets, and those were collected within their sites and then brought to the Pampanga site, so that each employee who would be knocking on our doors and asking for help, there's a ready set of grocery bags or blankets that we could give to them, because that's how we want to be able to take care of each other, because at the end of the day we are a family. It was a successful event, or undertaking, in such a way that within the next 48 hours we were able to account for everyone, and we were able to deploy the assistance that everyone is needing, from the grocery baskets to the transportation to lighting and fixture and furniture within their houses that have been damaged by the typhoon. And it always is very rewarding to look back at how we are, as an organization, as a community of colleagues and friends and family, that we are ready to step up whenever the situation asks for it, without really being forced to do it, and because we have that innate culture of being volunteers and being able to offer assistance anyway and anytime we can provide that.
Yeah, that innate culture. As you were saying that, I was thinking this is just part of their DNA, to
Yes.
step up and help elevate each other, especially during people's times of need. And as Kyle in our comments earlier said, sending not just love and smiles, but also to be really sharing of your resources, the blankets, the gift not the gift baskets, but the groceries, etc. that people needed. So you're taking care of the Philippine students and you're taking care of the TTEC family, which is all really great. As we're nearing the end of our time here today, we always like to offer our audience some advice that they can leave with and implement immediately. And I'm going to be really transparent here, David. I've been with TTEC for 5 years. I've known about our TTEC Foundation grants for those 5 years, get the e-cards every quarter, look at it, get excited, get a little overwhelmed, and then I do nothing. And in my 5th year, I made it a goal to submit a grant. And sponsor a grant alongside many of my wonderful colleagues for supporting me. So life is busy. We all have full plates. We want to give back. Maybe we just don't know where to start. Maybe it's overwhelming. So to my story, I did nothing. I mean, just think in 5 years, I probably could have had 5 grants. So I'm kind of kicking myself. But I want to make sure that everybody walks away with channeling their inner David Bernal and TTEC Philippines. What's some of your advice that you think the audience could take away today to implement, not just in these next couple months where giving and thank you and gratitude is really on our minds, but implement it as a really part of a pillar of their strategy for 2024?
I mean, I think I'm gonna go back to how it is built into our DNA, right? How it's innate into our culture. Most of us, and I would always talk about, my story. I had nothing when I joined TTEC, and I've been blessed and grateful enough that TTEC has invested a lot in me, in my development. That's why I was able to, from being a team leader to a senior team leader to a manager, and now I'm a director. And I would always use that as my motivation and the drive that there's a company such as TTEC who will trust you, who will invest in you, who will put in some effort with you because the company believes in you. And I would, always want to give back because without TTEC, I would probably still have that nothing mindset. I know it's always been very busy with a lot, distractions, but I think that if we always go back to, our um, young selves, how simple lives were during those times, and what are the things that really matter, we would always be able to come up with something that would um, that we would be able to share to the community.
That's so great. I love it. Kind of go back to what inspired us as kiddos and what can we do, like you were saying with your story, how your education impacted your life. I love it. You went from needing a mobile phone to now using that mobile phone to get in touch with TTEC family members when they need it. Your journey is incredible, and really a big, huge shout out to all of the TTEC Philippines family that supports the TTEC Foundation grants and efforts. I know it's an amazing group. I hope to come to the Philippines someday. David, I just wanted to share some things in the chat. Todd, hello. Thank you for joining us. He says this is very inspirational. Thank you.
Thanks,
Antonella,
Todd.
yes. Antonella is watching from Brazil. Hussein's watching us from Reno, Nevada. Hey, we've got a lot of Vegas and Nevada in the house today. And Sarah, and to any TTEC family member that is watching today, I will absolutely support you in any of your grants. I can be your work from home sponsor buddy, and we'll sign it up because I'm also working from home. So just getting those signatures seemed maybe a little intimidating, but the team stepped up and did an amazing job. So David, I don't know about you, but I think you did a great job today, and we've got some people fired up to go back into their own lives and make this maybe that pillar of giving for living a healthier, longer, more fulfilled life these next few months as we round out 2023 and into 2024 and beyond. So thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Rebecca. Always a pleasure sharing insights and stories within the larger TTEC group.
We love it. Get some rest, David. We'll talk with you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Yes, thanks, David. We have hot jobs now to talk about. So if you're inspired by our time here with David Bernal and you happen to live in the Philippines, well, we've got a lot of amazing jobs throughout the Philippines that you can take a look at. This is just one of the jobs that we have on ttechjobs.com. It is a senior manager remote role. So you could be working, supporting employees, the customer experience from wherever you are within the Philippines, and take advantage of the grants when you become a part of the family and these amazing river cleanups and student activities as well. But we also have more jobs in the Philippines than that and around the world. So please take a look at ttechjobs.com and find a job near you. But if you're here, if you happen to be in Malta, New York, we are hiring in Malta, New York for many jobs. Again, this is just one of the many jobs in Malta, Rochester, and throughout New York that we are hiring for. If you're looking for a role in customer service, this is a great opportunity to come work on site with us, make those connections in the workplace, and help you to lead a more fulfilling life as well, supporting customers every day. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We appreciate your time, your energy, for sharing your thoughts with us in the chat. We also wanted to say thank you very much to David Bernal for the inspiration. I know I have an action plan to leave with today. And again, for those of you that are with TTEC, the TTEC Foundation and our Persons with Disability Employee Resource Group have teamed up this quarter to help provide you a list of organizations that support persons with disabilities. So please come check out your e-card. It's in your inbox or Mosaic to learn about how you can submit a grant for Q4. But TikTok, not as in literally TikTok on the time, January 1st is the deadline for that submission. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. We are going to be off on Thanksgiving, but back on November 30th. If you loved this show today, please consider sharing it. Speaking of gratitude, always have gratitude for our producers, Gabby, Dora, Smearty. Thank you so much for helping us keep this show rolling every other week. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See you soon.